Friends, welcome to Tech Dummies. Today we are going to talk about Gen AI or generative AI. So, what's the buzz around Gen AI? Why is everyone talking about generative AI? Should you know it? Should you use it? We'll talk about all of that today and give you an understanding from a very non technical point of view. Do let me know if you want to get into a little bit of technical and uh, get to know Gen AI a little bit better. But today's discussion will be for anyone who wants to know what is generative AI, why is everyone talking about it, what is ChatGPT, what is Copilot, what is Gemini, and what is the buzz about this generative AI. Okay, so the first question, what is generative AI? So generative AI, if you just break down the name generative, that means it's generating something, generating new content, generating a PowerPoint a presentation for you, generating a document, generating a poem, prose, generating image, generating video. So basically it's generating content. And why AI? Because it's artificial intelligence generation. Okay, so we are not generating it as human. So this generative capability is being developed by AI. Okay, so we have programmed such intelligent machines at this stage that it can generate content by itself. That's what generative AI is. Now, the content can vary from a simple image of an apple to a full blown animated movie. Okay, so as we go along this generative AI journey throughout the years as human, as we go along this journey, we will keep on developing. And if you see, even within the 2 3 years, the generated images, AI generated images, text, and movies are getting so much better that you cannot even compare that. Like it's very much comparable with the actual footage of or an actual image drawn by someone, actual photo drawn by someone, right? So how is this doing it? Like generative AI, how it is doing all these things? Okay, so basically, to put it in a nutshell, we are giving the generative AI model, say it's a machine or it's a model, it's an algorithm. Okay, we are giving it a lot of data. For example, if we want the generative AI to generate a human face, so we'll be giving it thousands or millions or billions of human faces. So what the generative AI does is extract the features of the human face. For example, it understands the human face. Okay. So for example, the average human face is around say 30 centimeter or something. It has hair on top and the nose sits in the middle. The nose is around 2 to 3 centimeter and the eyes are located at this area. So a basic human face. It gets the details of the human face, how a normal human face looks like. Okay, once it understands it, it can generate on its own. It can generate completely new images. It can generate people that does not exist. Okay, so basically your AI, your Gen AI is as good as your data. If you're giving him, like giving the generative AI, giving it the generative AI like billions of faces, then it has more data to work with and it will generate accurate image. Okay, say if you give only 5 human faces to work with, then it will generate images which is not that accurate, which is not that real. All right, so it's operated by human, it's like trained by human, but the capability is such that once it is fed with all this data, then it can do wonders. Okay, so this is basically what generative AI is. So I talked about an image. Let's talk about a poem or something. So I give thousands of poems starting from Shakespeare to all those that are in history, known, unknown, everyone. Okay, I gave them all the data, give all the data to the generative AI model, say ChatGPT or Gemini or something. Now you ask ChatGPT that generate a poem for me that is based on the moon or that is based on a full moon night or something like that. Okay, so it doesn't copy any of the content. It understands what a full moon night could look like, what people have written around it, how the poem is written. It understands all that feature. Now it generates a poem which is which is original and which is pretty good. All right, so this is what we are doing with generative AI. Right, So this is basically what generative AI is. Now, why is everyone talking about generative AI? Okay, so this term AI, machine learning, all this, we'll talk about it in a different video, what exactly AI and machine learning is. This one is only focusing on generative AI. So if we're just talking about AI and machine learning, it's not that new. Okay, we have been working on it since 1950s, and the recent couple of decades have seen a lot of improvements in this area. But this word generative AI, like generative or generating original content through AI, is very new. It has been hardly 4 or 5 years. Okay, 2021 I think is the first time when we heard about ChatGPT, and there is a lot of buzz. And even in this 4 years, we have come a long way. Okay, we can generate almost anything now using generative AI models, right? So that's why everyone is talking about it, because I can be a content creator. I can be a poet or a copywriter without even knowing the art. I just need to know how to deal with this AI tools. Okay, so ChatGPT, Gemini, they are basically AI tools. Okay, there is some algorithm, some logic written by someone, say OpenAI or Google or Microsoft, and we are using that in these tools. Okay, ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, these are most popular, but there are thousands of tools out there now for different various purposes, starting from making presentation, to writing poems, to making images, making full-blown movies. Everything is being done by generative AI these days. Okay, so that's why everyone is talking about it. Okay, so I can be a poet without even knowing the art of writing poems. Okay, I just need to know how to talk to ChatGPT, how to give proper instruction to ChatGPT so that it give me what I need. Okay, so this is what the hype is all about. Now, what can it do? We talked about it. It can generate text and content, okay, starting from essays, stories to marketing copy. It can generate images and art, very realistic images, very in the style you need it, whether it's Van Gogh or any Leonardo da Vinci or any one of the famous artists. You can generate the images in their style as well. It can generate code and programming. So this is a big thing now. Like people, the actual developers are doing AI assisted coding, and we are calling it vibe coding. Okay, it's a thing now. Vibe coding is a thing. So you can know all about coding if you want, but if you can get AI assistance, like it's acceptable in the corporative in like IT industry now. So coding and programming, AI is getting much and much better at it. Okay, more and more like proficient in generating coding. Then audio and video. As we know, we can generate music, we can generate original music using AI tools. We can do voice cloning, like we can just write a poem using a chat GPT and ask them to perform in the voice of, Taylor Swift, or a Bollywood singer, or a Asian singer, or a K-pop singer. Anyone can, we can actually copy their voice and make AI sing that song in that format, right? So generative AI is doing all that thing. Now, what are the popular generative AI tools? Everyone has heard about ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is basically a language model, okay, natural language model. Like let's not get into technical stuff, but it's actually a natural language model, which means that we can talk to the ChatGPT model using our natural language. Hi, I want this, I want that, I want to generate a video. These are the details. I want to generate this image. These are the details. So it's a ChatGPT is an everyday tool for us now. Okay, the ChatGPT 4.0 is amazing. So you can just try your hands on it and you'll realize how good it is. But mostly it's generating text and images. I don't think it's at that point that it can generate videos now. So it's basically a language model. It can generate text for you, and in some cases it can generate images for you. But that also using another tool from OpenAI that's called DALL-E. Okay, it's not generating by itself. So ChatGPT is basically only for text generation. If you need any help generating images and all that, it will use DALL-E, which is here in the third slide. If you see here, third grade. So yeah, it generates images using DALL-E. We have Midjourney, which is a good, I think the best in market right now for image generation. There is Leonardo AI as well, and there are other tools like Copilot, which is from Microsoft, which is built on top of ChatGPT, but it can help you with all your Office 365 stuff. Like if you have Microsoft Word, if you have Microsoft PowerPoint, if you have Microsoft Outlook or Teams, it can help with all that. Copilot is integrated in all that. It can help you. We'll talk about Copilot in another video, but it can help you with your regular office stuff as well. Okay, so these are the popular generative AI tools. There is Copy AI, which is helping you in content generation. Then there is Gemini, which is also similar to ChatGPT. It's a language model, but it can also generate some images using Imagen. Imagen, I think it's called Google's image generation tool, AI image generation tool. Yeah. So how does it work? We talked about it in brief. So we give it training data. So all kinds of data that we need it to generate output for, we give it all those kind of data. It learns the patterns, like how the human face looks like, how a cat looks like, how a land looks like. It learns all the pattern. It learns the data itself, and then when you ask it, it actually generates the content accordingly. How can you use generative AI? Okay, so depending on what field you are in, whether you are a corporate employee or whether you are a content creator, you are working like as a student, or you are working on your daily normal stuff, you can use generative AI everywhere. There are a lot of free tools, there are a lot of paid tools as well. Depending on how frequently you need to use it, you can choose the best in class tools. Like ChatGPT, I have personally found that it's the best language model. It's one of the best language model. So if you need some text generation stuff, need help with a lot of text data, then ChatGPT is your go-to tool. Then if you need help with image generation, then maybe Leonardo AI or Midjourney is your tool, right? So these are the top in class. You need help with presentations, preparing awesome presentations, then you go to Gamma AI. Then you need some help with copywriting or advertising, those kind of things, you go to copy.ai. Okay, so this is how you can use generative AI. Yeah. Okay, so it's not all bed of roses. There are some limitation and risks as well. Okay, so if your AI model, if your Gen AI model is not trained properly, then it can give you false information, which is called hallucination, right? So you ask it something, and if you're fully dependent on that chat GPT or Gemini or any language model, for example, so you will have to review that information. If you review that content it generates, okay, because it can provide you false information depending on your data. So your result, your generation is as good as the data you have fed it, the training data. So it can have actually hallucination, and it can have some biases as well. If you have heard, there was an issue with Gemini that it was biased towards white people or biased towards black people. So basically it's as good as its data. So if you give it a lot of white people images and you ask it to generate a human face, then it will show you a white human face. Okay, so that kind of biases has to be removed. Again, it depends on the training data. It can spread misinformation in some cases. There are some privacy concerns that what kind of data you are exposing to ChatGPT or any of that kind of tool. Like you shouldn't provide your social security number or your passport number or your PAN card number to these models, because these are private information and you should protect it at any cost. Okay, so basically whatever data, it can help you, but it cannot replace you. It is there to boost your productivity, to help you to do stuff that you are not good at this point, and you might do with some help, right? Like image generation, you're not an artist, but you need that image and you don't want to pay someone a hefty amount for that image. Okay, so you can use some of these AI tools. So that kind of assistant it provides you. It's never meant to replace humans. It just needs to it's meant to boost your productivity, make you more productive, make you better at what you do. Okay, this is what generative AI is meant to do. Again, just don't go blindly with the information generative AI has generated. You have to review it. You have to make sure before producing or spreading it that it is correct. Then that would be the right use of generative AI. So future of generative AI, multimodal. Okay, so when you're talking about models, one model can generate only text, one model can generate only image, one model can generate only video. So multimodal models means it can work, it can do almost anything. Like one ChatGPT or one small tool, it can generate image, it can generate text, it can generate video, it can generate audio. So those are called the multimodal models. So going forward, we'll have tools with more capability, and they will be reshaping every industry we're working in. Wherever text generation is there, audio generation is there, video generation is there, which is almost everywhere, there we can use these kind of tools to transform those industries. Okay, then again, we have to use them ethically. We have to review the information generated before spreading it. We have to make sure that we uh, don't share any personal information with this kind of tools, because it's all data and the data is going to the backend. So there is a possibility, which is like not very normal, but there is a possibility that someone can exploit that data. Okay, so be careful what you're exposing to these public sites, these public tools, and this will do wonders for you. Okay, so AI is a tool. Again, it's not magic. There are actual developers who are using it, and there are actual human who need to review it to make it a useful tool. So exactly as we talked about, verify the AI outputs, start small, experiment, then uh, do real work using the AI tool. Start small, see if it's working for you. It works for everyone, so I'm sure it will work for you as well. But start small, experiment, then go ahead. Stay informed. Yes, this field is evolving rapidly. So if I was using ChatGPT 3.5 yesterday, now we are getting ChatGPT 4.0, which is massive and which has a lot of improvements over the ChatGPT 3.5. So stay informed, stay updated, and use them as such. Thank you so much. That's me. Follow this channel for such videos, and thank you so much. Subscribe this channel. Thank you.